Welcome to episode 7 of Hinduism and Mental Health. Now, this is a very different sharing, and I'm going to put up a trigger warning, very clear trigger warning, that this is covering the topic of suicide, number one. And the second trigger warning is this has no quotations from any Hindu texts or any Hindu gurus. This is a personal sharing and a personal sharing of my belief based on my personal experiences during meditation, during spiritual activities, that of what happens to the human soul upon completion of suicide. So this is a very tough topic. Please feel free to click away. It's not for everybody. This is a sharing I'm doing for me and as part of my journey. So thank you and uh, good day if you're going to leave now. If not, please feel free to share the story with me as I continue. Thank you. Okay, some of y'all may know that my younger brother, Jagannath Sai, he's very cute, completed suicide when he was 22 years old. This is a long time ago, and I'm not going into details on the suicide itself. I'm going to go straight into what happens after. Now, this understanding of mine came many years after he completed suicide, and I was doing some spiritual activity, and I mean, whether you want to believe it or not, you can see it like it happened in a dream where I had a discussion with him and my mom, and I understood what happened to him after he suicided. And this is what I believe happens. And of course, it's a totally personal belief, and I can totally be mad and fine to believe that because this is just a sharing. So when someone completes suicide, they have prematurely ended their life. Okay? But in Hinduism, karma is not about punishment. Karma is still about growth. It is still about development. It is providing the tools of development to the soul for the soul to go to the next stage. So when someone completes suicide, if you look at the number of lokas or waiting rooms before people are born, we are on the fourth dimension. Earth realm is the fourth dimension, three dimensions below which are considered demonic dimensions, and dimensions above which are considered to be more godly dimensions. Now, all these dimensions are basically waiting rooms. Okay, they are waiting rooms before you are reborn, before you're given the chance to be born, and you know challenge yourself again so that you can move higher and higher until you merge with God. So when we complete suicide, what it means is that in this birth we did not have the tools, we did not have the inner strength, we didn't have the inner capacity to meet the demands, the pain, the challenges, the raw agony of the birth. So it doesn't make sense that God, that is loving, that creates a loving universe, condemns somebody at that point. No sense at all. I don't believe that at all. But what happens instead is that the three realms that you go through, the so called demonic realms, are actually waiting rooms where we learn about what we need to develop. So we have to learn the lesson of what we needed to overcome three times before we are again given a chance on the earth realm, which is the testing ground, to see whether we could implement these lessons and move our soul forward. So the interesting thing for me was in the lowest realm, the first realm, and all of these things happen very fast. They're not like you go there and you spend thousands of years or hundreds of years or even tens of thousands of years, 10 years. It's just sometimes, I mean, time is very different in these realms. It could be a few days, it could be a few hours, I don't know. But in the first realm, you are actually with all your guardians, you're with all your ancestors, people who loved you, people who and passed on, the energies of those people, the energies of love that's still pervasive. They come and they guide. and they teach and they stay with you, but it feels like it's hell because it was your hell. It was, what you could not manage on your own. So the realm seems like hell, but actually it's school, it's kindergarten. So the first time they're all with you, they go through it, they help you learn, they help you do different things to learn. Then you go into the second realm. So once you've passed that or you've gone through that, you go into the second realm. And in the second realm, your guardians, you are aware, you still remember everything. It's not like you forget everything. The only realm you forget is the earth realm. So the second realm, then you go, the guardians then play the role of advisors. They're there. You can run to them for advice. You remember everything. You still have to learn those lessons. So you go through those lessons, you run to them, you come back. Then third time you have to go through, and this was when I did this activity. So I did my activity of connecting with my family members who had passed on, and this is when I talked to my brother, and my brother had to, before he could go into this realm, he and me, we had some unfinished business to deal with, and we dealt with that unfinished business, which was very surprising to me and pretty painful, but it was what it was. And in this realm, your guardians can watch, but you have to go through everything. The difference is you remember everything and you kind of know they're watching, like you're aware of that connection, but you're aware that they cannot interfere. So the funny thing is, my mom, who had been acting as his guide, one of his guides, my mom's energy, that part of her energy that was acting as his guides, was with him throughout the whole time. And she actually came and she was more upset than he was because here she couldn't talk to him, and she wanted him to pass. So she was very worried about him, and she did share that, and it was quite, it was nice. And yeah, she's gone to different realms and all that, but a part of her stayed to look after Jagan when Jagan passed on, and did not, until Jagan was reborn, she stayed quite close to make sure that she was okay. And yes, Jagan, as far as I'm concerned, again, my belief, your belief, what you want, he was reborn a few years ago, and he was reborn in not connected directly with the family. So he has his own karma to go through. Anyway, so in a nutshell, then so you go to this realm where you are then facing the problems with all your memories. You overcome it again. Then you are reborn on this earth. When you're reborn on this earth, you're reborn without the memory. But the energies, the learnings that you've learned from the other realms are inside you somewhere. And the challenge is to tap that inner strength. The challenge is to go inward to get your solutions rather than look outward for solutions. And, when people go through this, again, the lesson for the fourth time, or actually the fifth time, and hopefully this time you pass with flying colors and then you move forward into your next birth. Whatever, you know, we've done in a particular birth, you just have, we go through what we need to go through in order to be reborn. And the so-called hell realms, I am pretty convinced, are basically school. So yeah, it is hell, but it's for some people, but it's a learning place where you are forced to face your worst subject. So yeah, that's kind of where what I believe happens. So honestly, there's no there's no condemnation, there's no harshness, there's a lot of love, there's a lot of support, there's a lot of growth. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of learning that each soul has to go through because it is each soul's own journey. So when it comes to suicide, maybe instead of having to learn something or go through something four times, if we can get the support in this birth, if when you feel really stretched out, you can reach out in this birth and get the support and get what you need, then suicide may not be necessary, if we can support. And if we can't, it's still okay. You know, God, God's there. The divinity is there. And the help is there. That's what I believe. Anyway, thank you for sharing. Yeah. If you're If you're interested in a bit more topics like this, I'm not really going to share this the way I share everything. This is just going to be posted quietly on the YouTube channel. And if y'all are interested, then just reach out and tell me. Thank you. Goodbye.